invited by the Sangguniang Bayan of Batangas City to receive an uh, award of recognition with the recently released results of our mechanical engineering licensure examination. So the dean, together with the dean, and our two board top-notchers coming from Batangas City attended the occasion, and it was scheduled from 9:30 in the morning, and then almost 12 noon now when we returned to the campus. So I was not able to meet you. And then Thursday naman, it was a holiday. And then last Monday, it was also a holiday. So tatlong meetings yung nawala sa atin. Kaya medyo hahapitin natin yung iba nating time ng discussion. Okay? If it is necessary that we conduct makeup class in order for us to complete all the topics needed for your midterm examination, then we will schedule an online makeup class for that. Okay. So for today, similar to what I did with other sections, I introduced to them the course information syllabus. So let us see if there would be time pa so that I can already start with the first topic of heat transfer. So let me share with you the copy of my course information syllabus. Let me just open it for a while. Okay, so this is our course information syllabus. Again, reminding you of our university vision, mission, and core values, and so as with the quality policy. Ano? So ito yung ating vision and mission statement, and then yung ating core values. We have yung ating 6 core values. So we have patriotism, service, integrity, resilience, uh, faith, and ano pa yung isa? Excellence. Ano? Yun yung ating 6 na core values. And our quality policy of the university is that the university is committed to provide quality service to all customers and satisfy requirements for continuous improvement of all processes involved in the university. Ano? So yun yung ating ibig sabihin ng ating quality policy statement. So for you to be able to know also this vision, mission, core values, and quality policy in the university, there are several places in which you can read them, and also in the website of our university you can find them, no? So somehow you should know the meaning of those statements that that are for the university, ano, para makilala natin yung university natin ng ayos. So you are not new students, so you are third year already, and most of the components of our course information syllabus are not actually new to you. So I'll be focusing more on the course policies and also the course content. Okay? So our course is MA 409. This is heat transfer. And prerequisite of this is MA 405, which is your thermodynamics two. But if you are going to look at the contents, at the contents of heat transfer later on, and also the methods of solution that you are going to use, um, knowledge of advanced engineering mathematics is very necessary. No, knowledge also of calculus are also necessary. No, because there would be some parts of the lecture in which you are going to make use of the partial differentiation. No, so you have to recall how to do partial derivatives. There are also some parts in which you are going to solve system of linear equations or solve equations which are not solvable by simple factoring or synthetic division, and therefore you are to use your knowledge of advanced mathematics, which is finding the first positive root of an equation. So try to review them, no? Dapat ma-recall ninyo yung mga topics na yun. Okay? So this heat transfer is one of the fundamental mechanical engineering courses which are offered during the first semester of your third year. So if you are a regular student, it should be taken during your third year, first semester. So this is a three unit lecture, no, 3 credit lecture. So everything is lecture, no laboratory. Okay, and this is based on our CHED Memorandum Order 97 series of 2017. You can download it in CHED website ng ating CMO para may guide din kayo kung ano ba yung mga contents or mga topics na i-discuss sa iba't ibang courses ninyo. Andyan lahat yung ating policies and guidelines and standards on the offering of Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering. Okay? So for those who do not know me yet, parang hindi ko pa naman yata kayo na-handle sa ibang course. I do not know kung may na-handle ako sa inyo previously. I am Dr. Donalyn C. Cabases, your professor for heat transfer, and I am currently your department chair, handling our 4 programs in the department. Also, I am the program chair of graduate programs, the Master of Science in Advanced Manufacturing, and the Master of Engineering major in Mechanical Engineering. So we developed this course information syllabus last year, and then I made some revision for this year as an output in our workshop, training workshop held in Tagaytay 2 weeks ago. So for the course description, so we are talking of the different modes of heat transfer, the laws governing them, and their application to the design of common heat exchangers such as condensers, cooling coils, and evaporators, and the environmental impact of their operation. So please focus on the criteria for assessment. Ano? So our criteria for assessment consists of 50% major assessments and another 50% for some other assessments. So the major assessments, we have our 2 major exams, the midterm and the finals, which are based on the schedule, no, natin ng midterm examination, which later you will see in our calendar that the midterm exam is normally conducted during the 9th week. No, sometimes it is the last days of week 8, covering week 8 and week 9, but sometimes it is the week 9 and the first few days of week 10, depending on the availability of classrooms to be used for the exam. And also since there are also other points of consideration in doing the schedule. Okay? So yun yung ating midterm and finals. And then we have here, previously it is just the problem sets, but then now we divided the problem sets into problem sets and short quizzes, in which that is 12.5% each. And then technical report is 25%. So what is new to you for you here is your technical report. So technical report is somehow a narrative or a manuscript of the application of the knowledge that you will gain in heat transfer. No, previously in last semesters that I handle heat transfer, I asked my students to conduct heat exchanger analysis because uh, the last part of our discussion will be all about heat exchanger and the performance analysis using different methods. So what you have to do as of this time is to look for a company in which there would be the application of heat transfer. You may ask your friends, your relatives, kung mga kakilala ninyo, baka may mga engineer na nagtatrabaho doon. You may ask for some information that you are going to use in your technical report. So the technical report will be done by group. Okay? Maximum of 5 members in a group. Kung gustong mag-solo, no problem. Kung gusto dalawa lang kayo, no problem. Kung gusto tatlo, apat, pwede din. Okay? So based on the system, how many are you in this class? Ilan po kayo sa klaseng ito? Let me just check. Sino pong nakakaalam kung ilan po? 48 ba? Yes. Ano ba ikaw? Iko Marie or Icho Marie?
Permission to speak po. Iko Marie.
Yeah. Ha?
Iko Marie po, ma'am.
Iko Marie. Okay. How many are you, Utoy, in the class?
Consulting the list that you gave us po ay 47 po.
37. Hindi ko sure kung may nadagdag pa dito. Ayaw gumana ng portal. So later ko na lang i-send, i-check. So kung hindi nadagdagan o hindi nabawasan yung inyong section, there are 47 students. Okay? So obviously, hindi siya divisible by 5. So kung meron sa inyo na gusto mag-solo, let Iko Marie knows kung yun ang inyong plan. Kung gusto nyo, dalawa lang kayo. Kung wala namang mag-volunteer ng isa lang or dalawa or tatlo, kasi kung siya ay 47, divide natin siya ng 5. So, 9 remainder 2. So, hindi pwedeng 6. No? Pwedeng merong groups na 4, pero maximum lang tayo ay 5. So, I will leave the groupings to you. Let your coordinator handle it. I will give you the liberty to choose who will be your group mates para in the end, wala po tayong sisihan. Kayo po ang pumili ng inyong group mates, kaya dapat ay magtrabaho kayo ng harmoniously at makakam up po kayo ng ating technical project. So the technical report actually is also to be presented. No? Normally, we conduct it in the last 2 weeks of our semester, week 17 or week 18. But then, I already asked them to prepare a 10-minute video recording of your discussion of your technical project. No? Ari po ay technical project, not technical report. Kasi pag report ay paper lang. So, dun po tayo sa technical project, which is basically an application. As mentioned here, sorry po. Ba't hindi ko siya makita? Ayun, a technical report is required to submit to show details of the performance evaluation of an existing heat exchanging equipment. This will employ the use of LMTD, NTU effectiveness, and simulation using ANSYS software. If you have other software that can be used, it's okay. No? The students will work in teams. The output will be presented in class. Also, guidelines will be provided to serve as the reference in the preparation of this requirement. Okay? A technical, sige, report po yung is required to submit. Okay. So, ayun po yung tungkol doon sa ating technical project. So, you have to prepare also yung technical report and yung ating presentation. Okay, so Iko, please facilitate later after our meeting. I'll give you siguro the last 10 minutes para ma-facilitate natin yung grouping. So you provide me the list, and then if you have already your determined heat exchanging equipment and company, you can have a Google Sheet para nakalagay po doon. No duplication. No, kung nakuha na po ng isang group, hindi na pwedeng gamitin ng ibang group kasi pareho lang naman po yung gagawin natin. Okay po. So now focusing on the intended learning outcomes. So after completing this course, you are expected to be able to do the following. So first one is to explain the fundamentals of heat transfer processes, including the mechanisms, the governing laws, and equations or governing equations and principles involved in different modes of heat transfer. So basically, yung ILO 1 natin focuses on the basic concepts, no theoretical considerations. ILO 2 is on the problem solving already. So solve problems involving the different modes of heat transfer, considering steady and unsteady state conditions. And the third ILO is to evaluate the performance of heat exchanging equipment using different methods. So if you are going to map this ILO to our assessment task and to our student outcomes, so the student outcomes applicable to our course are two SOs. That is SO1 and SO5. So SO1 is your knowledge, no? Dito, wait lang po. Ito po, ano? So discipline knowledge yung ating SO1 and our SO5 is problem analysis. Kaya po yung ating ILO1, it will be mapped to our SO1 and then yung ating ILO2 will be mapped to our SO5. Okay? And then yun naman pong ating technical report, that would be for your combination of our SO1 and SO5. But basically, it would be allotted for our technical project. Okay? So ito po yung ating distribution, no? So for our midterm exam, expect that 40% will covering our ILO1 and 60% will be for the problem analysis. For finals, it would be 30-70. For the problem sets, we have 30-70. For short quiz, is the same, 30-70. And then for your technical project, it would be covering your third ILO. Take note that all of this assessment tasks, except po yung ating technical report, it would be under the cognitive domain. So ito pong ating technical report or gawin po nating technical project, no? Technical project. Ay, sorry. Okay. Yan, ano? Meron pong affective kasi nga ipipresent po natin ito. Kaya 80-20 po yung nilagay natin dito sa ating domain. Cognitive and affective. Yung P po dyan, it is psychomotive or psychomotor. Since wala naman po tayong laboratory, kaya wala po tayong under this domain. Okay? So these are the different reference materials suggested. No? Some of them you can find in the library. Also, you can find e-books. No? Search nyo lang sa internet. May makikita kayo dyan na mga e-books which you can use as reference. If you can find latest editions, that would be better. No? And also here, in item number 6, I have here my instructional material. Actually, it's not instructional material, but it's lecture notes on heat transfer. Tanggalin ko na po yung word na instructional material. So that would be heat transfer, which I developed in August 2023. But then I made some revision actually in this year, no? Lagyan ko lang po ng revise. No, August 2025. So revisions that I made is that I included some of the tables and figures in the module already. Previously kasi I made it a separate one because they normally use it in exam. But then there are some cases in which students are tempted to make use of that Ba't kinuha? In order to make use of that during exam. But then again, as I mentioned, students are tempted to have some unnecessary writings in the compilation of tables and figures, which lead them to zero score in the exam, and some are being reported to the Office of the Student Discipline for their misbehavior. So this time, I tried not to have a separate one. So in case of your midterm and final exams, that tables and figures and other monographs are necessary or are required, then it will be attached to your exam questionnaire. Ano? So kung ano na lang po yung kakailanganin, yun na lang po yung ating ilalagay. Ano? And for your everyday studying of heat transfer in our lecture discussion, then you can refer to the tables and figures included already in the module. If in case that there are some of them that are not included, then I'll just give you the copy and I'll just compile it and then give to you, and you have to reproduce them on your own to be added to our compilation of lecture notes, tables, and figures. Okay? So ayan po, yan po yung ating references. Okay, so down are the IGAs, the student outcomes that I mentioned, the CDIO skills and the SDG skills and the necessary mapping. So for the grading system, this is not new to you, but please focus on these two things, no? Yung ating failure is below 70, and then yung ating INC. So INC basically should be only given to students if the student really passed, but then he failed to submit, say, one of the requirements. For example, nung kinompute ko yung inyong grade, pasado na kayo, minimum na binigay ko sa inyo, halimbawa sa isang assessment ay isiniro ko yun, pero pasado pa rin kayo, you will not be receiving the passing grade, but you will be receiving INC because you failed to complete or to submit one of the requirements. So what you have to do is you submit that requirement. For example, hindi kayo nakakuha ng isang quiz. So kung hindi nakakuha ng isang quiz, siniro ko siya, but then meron ka namang permission or inallow kita na ikaw ay kumuha ng makeup quiz or kung ano mang requirement yon, but then release na ng grades pero hindi mo pa rin nakukuha. So what you have to do is to complete that requirement, and then after that would be to I will recompute your grade, and maybe baka kung talagang matataas ang grade ay di tingnan natin kung ano yung magiging grade. So ang INC pwedeng maging 1.0, pwedeng maging 3 minimum, no? Pero kapag ka ikaw ay below 70 na here, you will be receiving a 5. Obviously, dito sa ating grading system, walang nakalagay dito na 70 to 74. Yun kasi yung dati na meron tayong 4.0 na grade. Yun yung ibig sabihin niya. Pero sa ngayon na nawala siya, kaya ang binibigay sa atin ng ating mga course instructor ay INC. Pero now, we are instructed that INC should be only used for its true meaning, yung in-explain ko kanina. And if your computed grade falls below, between 70 to 74.99, uh, remedial activity shall also be given first prior to uploading of grades. No? We can upload INC, INC 3, or INC 5 already. Hindi pwedeng magtagal yung INC because of the grade of 70 to 74.99. So when we say remedial activity, appropriate remedial activity, it can be in a form of removal exam, no? Kung ano man po yung related doon sa heat transfer. But do not ask for any special project. It should only be appropriate remedial activity for you to enhance learning, para madagdagan pa yung inyong learning at nang makaabot tayo doon sa ating passing grade. Okay? So do not attempt to ask for any special project. Okay? Anything that should be appropriate remedial activity shall only be conducted for us to evaluate yung mga between 70 and 74.99. Pero ang below 70 po ay wala na po tayong pag-uusapan. Andito na po yung failure or yung ating 5.0 for below 70. Okay? Next, for the class policy in terms of our attendance. So although attendance is not a part of your assessment task or ng ating grading system, it is a requirement. When you read your student handbook, student manual, nakalagay po yan sa inyong student handbook that you are only allowed a maximum of 10% of the total number of hours. Since tayo po ay 54 hours, 10% of that is 5.4. It is just round up to 6 hours. So, kung hindi naman po kailangan na umabsent, huwag pong umabsent kasi sayang po ang isang meeting. No? So, yun lang po ang po pwede. Now, if before midterm at na-exceed mo yung 6 hours, then you will receive a grade of drop. No? But dropping should be done officially. If you do not do it officially, and nakalampas na po tayo ng midterm, then you will receive a grade of 5 in the end. Kung halimbawa po ay tumigil na kayo ng pag-attend, lagi po kayong absent, di rin po kayo nakuha ng assessment task, nagko-comply ng requirements, then you will receive a grade of 5. So you have to do it officially. Yung dropping. Okay, so missed exam po. If a student fails to take the exam during the scheduled date, then a special exam can be given provided that he has valid reason. So the validity of the reason will be determined by the faculty. Ang mga example po natin ng valid reason ay the health reason. Kung health reason po, you should be providing a medical certificate signed by the attending physician. Other reasons po, again, it should be determined whether it is valid or not. Kasi minsan, ang dahilan ng estudyante, nag-escort po kasi ako kagabi sa 18th birthday. Kaya hindi po ako nakapasok. Ako po ay napuyat. Umattend po kasi ako ng birthday party. Okay? Hindi po yun valid reason. Kasi pwede namang pagka-escort mo, ay di umuwi na at matulog, mag-aral. Mag-aral, matulog, magpahinga. Pero hindi po yun tamang rason para hindi po kayo makakuha ng exam. O di kaya po, ay may family travel po kasi kami. When you will conduct or when you will have your family travel, please make sure to visit the school calendar for the different activities. Kasi hindi rin po yun valid reason. Okay? Academic dishonesty, based on our student norms of conduct, cheating during exam, plagiarisms in connection with any academic work are said to be part of your academic dishonesty. Okay? So there are some offenses based on your student norms of conduct. Kung may mga narinig na po kayo na gumawa niyan at nakalusot, huwag niyo na pong gayahin. Ano? Marami na po tayong nagawang hearing doon sa ating Office of the Student Discipline. Huwag na po nating dagdagan yung listahan. Okay? Kasi in real life naman po, hindi naman po kayo makakapag-cheat. Halimbawa sa board exam, bawal naman po yun. Wala ka namang matatanong kundi ang sarili mo lang. So you exert effort in studying, you understand the lecture, you practice problem solving, and for sure during the exams you can make it. Okay? And also you have to submit your requirements on time, correctly and on time. No? Meron kasing iba ay para lang makasubmit, ay pandalas ng pagsulat, or yung iba ay kumukuha pa ng sekretary. Bawal po ang sekretary ha. Mahuhuli ko po't mahuhuli kung hindi po nyo yan sulat. Okay? So yung atin pong ibang requirements, I will ask you to upload soft copy and then the hard copy will be submitted during the face-to-face submission. Okay? So ayun po. And then other course policies po natin, ito po ay for courtesy during our class, no, being polite. So no yelling, and then when you type in our chat box, do not use capital letter. No? Avoid sarcasm. Don't abuse the chat box. Attempt to find your own answer. Grammar is important. So when somebody asks during the class discussion, pay attention. Kasi baka mamaya, yun din naman pala yung itatanong mo. Ang tawag natin doon ay unlay. Ano? Panay ang tanong, katatanong lang, kasasagot ko lang, yun uli ang itatanong kasi hindi po nakikinig. Okay? So please pay attention. And always open your camera. Kasi ang mga hindi po nag-o-open ng camera, hindi po nakakatapos on time. Kasi laging nakatago. Ano? Kaya yun pong learnings, nakatago din sa inyo. Hindi nyo rin po siya maintindihan ng ayos. Okay? So, you open your camera always and make sure na when you attend online class, at least naka-t-shirt po tayo. Bawal po ang sunblock. Okay. So, any question po so far? Clarifications on the policies po? Wala pa po. Okay, sige, punta po tayo sa teaching, learning, and assessment activities. So, these are the topics that we are going to discuss and the different topic outcomes and also the assessment. No? So, we will have 11 chapters. So the first excluded po yung ating for today, which is our orientation and introduction. That is the presentation of syllabus and the class rules. And then we will have our first chapter, which is all about introduction to heat transfer. So introduction pa lang, kaya medyo light pa ang discussion natin ng chapter 1. Okay? So here you will be learning the different modes of heat transfer, although I know that you know them already. You know conduction, convection, and radiation. And also we are going to deal with the important properties in heat transfer and energy balance in a control volume and a control surface. So you will have here the analysis of heat transfer problems methodology. So, hindi po kagaya ng mga usual natin na problems kapag ka nagpe-present tayo ng solution. We will be following the suggested heat transfer analysis method of the author of the Fundamentals of Heat and Mass Transfer, Lavin et al. Or Bergman et al. No? And then we will have the conservation of energy requirement in a controlled volume and a controlled surface. Then the next chapter will focus on the conduction rate equation, uh, focusing on one-dimensional steady-state conduction in a plane wall and radial system. So ano po ba ma'am yung conduction rate equation? So conduction rate equation is actually a partial differential equation that we are going to derive. I'll be deriving the plane wall and then I'll ask you to, or we will go together with the derivation of the cylindrical, and I will ask you to solve for the derivation of the conduction rate equation of spherical system. Now, so here you have to review partial differentiation. Okay? So yung atin pong heat diffusion equation, sorry, not the conduction rate equation. The heat diffusion equation is that differential equation. So pag sinolve natin yung differential equation and applying some pertinent assumptions, we will be talking of the so-called temperature distribution. No? So the temperature distribution, out of that, you will be finding its first derivative and you will apply it to Fourier's law for conduction. Because Fourier's law states that the heat flux is directly proportional to the temperature gradient. And temperature gradient is the change in temperature with respect, say, to x when we are talking of one-dimensional in x. And the temperature gradient is simply the first derivative of your temperature distribution with respect to x. Again, the temperature distribution is the solution of the partial differential equation. Okay? Then, next to that would be, we will be talking of combination of conduction and convection, and sometimes also with addition of radiation heat transfer. Then we will focus on two-dimensional steady-state conduction. So we will focus only on Cartesian coordinates along x and along y direction. So in this chapter, you will utilize your knowledge in advanced math, which is finding the solution of system of linear equations. No, ang pinagkaiba lang siguro during your advanced mathematics, your course instructor already provided the temperature equations, but here you are the one to formulate first the temperature equation based on the energy balance that we are going to have, in which the purpose is to find the temperature equation. Okay? And then it would be followed by our midterm exam on your week 9. Then after the midterm, we focus on the second mode of heat transfer, which is all about convection. No? So sa convection, meron po tayong free and forced convection. So we will be talking first of, hindi ko po ata napalitan ito. Unahin po natin kasi yung forced convection. Pagpapalitin ko lang po itong forced convection at saka po yung free convection. So under ng forced convection, we have the external flow and the internal flow. No? In different configuration or geometry. We have the flat plate, the cylinders, the spheres, and the tube box. Then it will be followed by free convection. We have the vertical plates, the inclined and horizontal plates, the cylinders, tubes, and spheres. So what is new in this section of convection heat transfer is the use of empirical equations. So empirical equations are equations that we are going to use to find the Nusselt number. Because convection heat transfer, it will involve H. No? Yung H natin, yun yung tinatawag natin na convection heat transfer coefficient. During our previous chapters here, yung ating H normally, it is given, or there is a table in which you can find suggested values of convection heat transfer coefficient. But then here, in our discussion of force and free convection, we will find H from Nusselt number. Because by definition, Nusselt number is equal to HL over K. So H is computed as the Nusselt number times K divided by L. No? So, yung empirical equation, ginagamit po natin kay Nusselt number. So, maririnig niyo po dyan ng iba't ibang authors na nag-conduct ng experiment to come up with the different empirical equations, be it laminar, turbulent, or in transition region. No? Andyan po si Chukauskas correlation, si Milensky, si Hilbert, si Churchill and Chu, si Churchill and Bernstein, si Marshall, si Rands, no? Rands and Marshall. Okay? So marami pa pong iba. So maririnig niyo po dito yung ating mga empirical equations. And then, after that po, we focus on the third mode of heat transfer, which is all about the radiation heat transfer. But we will only have some theoretical concepts on radiation, focusing on processes and properties, radiation heat fluxes, radiation intensity, black body radiation, emission from real surfaces, and then we have the different properties, the absorptivity, reflectivity, and transmissivity of real surfaces, and then we talk of gray surface. Then also we will be talking of radiation exchange between surfaces, dealing with the view factor. If you are on one surface, how will you view the other surface? The black body radiation exchange and the radiation exchange between diffuse and gray surfaces. And the last chapter will be focusing on heat exchanger. No, yun naman pong multi-mode ay the combination po ng two or more modes of heat transfer. Then the last would be yung heat exchanger. So heat exchanger, we have the types of heat exchanger, the overall heat transfer coefficient, the heat exchanger analysis. So ito po yung gagawin ninyo para sa inyong technical report. Yung use of log mean temperature difference, or if arithmetic mean temperature difference is the one applicable. Then the use of the second method of heat exchanger analysis, the number of transfer units, and effectiveness method. And then the last one would be heat exchanger design and performance calculations with modeling and simulation. Okay? So ayun po yung ating focus or content, and then the last one would be the preparation of your technical report, in which you are going to analyze the heat exchanger using the different methods, analytically and using the software. Okay? So ayun po. Ito naman po yung ating assessment schedule. We have the midterm to be conducted on week 9. I explained that already to you. Our final exam is on week 17. Ito pong, sorry po, hindi ko pa pala na-insert yung quiz. No? So, ay mali. It should be below. Andito po yung ating quiz. So, yun pong ating pong week 4 ay dito po natin to ilalagay, and then ito pong week 12 also. Okay? Then, yung ating pong P-sets are to be submitted during week 8 at saka po week 16. But please take note po na hindi po lang siya dalawang P-set. Normally po ang ginagawa ko sa P-set is every topic nagbibigay ako ng 1 to 2 problems that you will work on. I will ask you to upload the soft copy of your work, but the hard copy will be submitted on week 8, that is the week before midterm, and on week 17, the week before yung atin pong finals, no? Since tayo naman po ay even weeks, right? Kaya po sa week 8 at saka week 16 po yung submission natin ng hard copy. And then ito po yung ating quizzes. Okay? Dito po natin ilalagay yung ating quizzes or short quiz. So, short quiz, depende po kung ano po yung topic na makukover natin. If it will involve combination po ng ating concepts at saka po ng problem solving based on our mapping kanina na pinakita, it would be 37. No, short quiz meaning instead na having apat na problems kagaya ng midterm and finals, baka isang problem lang and then the others would be focusing on the concepts. Okay? So, ayun po yung ating assessment schedule and the others are all just mapping of our assessments. Hindi pa lang po nakamap dyan yung ating short quiz. Ilalagay ko lang po dito sa ILO 1 at saka po sa ating SO5, sorry, SO1 at saka yung ating SO. Okay po. So ayun, yun po yung ating course information syllabus. Any question po so far? So again po, itatama ko lang po ito base doon sa ginawa nating module. So sa inyo pong section ay parang ano ba? Iko, ilan nga po ang sabi na mag-avail po ng ating module?
Upon checking the sheets po ay ano po ma'am, 46 pa rin po. 46 47 po.
Okay, so ayun, 46. Ano? Andito ba kayo ng weekend? May face-to-face kayo ng weekend?
Yes po ma'am, Sunday po.
Sunday. O sige, ganito ano? Dadalhin ko na lang dito sa school yung copy ninyo para next week pag tayo ay nag-lecture na ay may magagamit kayo. Ano? So please get it from the faculty room 1 dito sa malapit sa library. Ano? Ipagbibilin ko na lang kung sinong faculty ang narito and then kung saan kukuhanin. For the payment, please prepare 300 pesos for that because that is 170 pages. No? Medyo makapal po siya kasi nga sinama ko na po yung most of the tables and figures that you are going to use for our discussion. Ang payment po ay sa akin kung hindi po kaagad mabayaran kahit po before midterm. No? Kahit po before midterm, pwede nyo i-partial, ipunin na lang ni Iko at kung meron ng payment Iko, pwede mong ibigay sa akin para hindi ka malito at hindi kung saan mapapunta yung pera. Ano? Kasi may mga cases na naririnig ako sa ibang faculty, nagkaka-problem ang student. May mga issues about money. Ano? So, kung meron ng payment, pwede mo namang i-partial sa akin. Pwedeng cash, pwedeng GCash. Okay po? So, kung yung mga nagsabi po na 46 na kukuha, again po, I'm giving you before midterm to pay para hindi naman po masyadong mabigat sa inyo kung hindi nyo po kaya kaagad na bayaran ng buo. No, siguro naman sa isang week, yung 50 pesos ay maibawas natin sa ating allowance, ay di 6 na linggo lang po yun. Bayad na po tayo. Okay? So, ayun po. Meron pong questions or clarifications? Kung wala po, I'm giving you the 10 minutes first to Iko to make use of the time for the groupings. Ano? Meron lang parent dito na kakausapin and then we will discuss at around 11 o'clock or up to 11:05. No? Sayang din po kasi yung remaining time para baka makastart tayo kahit konti. Okay po, so you can make use of this meet for your groupings. Kayo na lang po ang mag-usap-usap. Ano? Ako po ay mag-mute lang at mag-off ng camera. Sige po.
Good morning po. Please, as far as I understand po, pwede po ang 1 member, 2 members, 3 members, 4 members, 5 members, pero bawal po ang 6 members. So, kung meron na po kayong nakuhang groupings ay pa-chat na lang po sa akin or palagay po dito sa in-call messages. Thank you po. Yung pong G-Sheets na spreadsheet po na nandun sa chat box ay pwede pong doon na kayo maglagay ng groupings nyo. Ayusin ko na lang po yung pagka ayos niya na naka-by group na at least one, at most five po. Yun po ay yung same Google Chat ng ating survey for lecture notes. Thank you po.
Okay na kayo? Tapos na? Yes, Iko.
Ma'am, naggawa na lang po ako ng ano po, yung sa G-Sheets po, na
Ah,
bigyan po nila ng reference po.
sige, send mo na lang sa akin pag okay na ano. Okay, so sige, start tayo ng ating first lecture para makausad-usad tayo. Remind nyo na lang ako pag 11:25 na ano, mapasarap tayo ng discussion. Okay, so what we have here is our chapter 1. This is Introduction to Heat Transfer. And we will be focusing on the overview of heat transfer and also the important properties in heat transfer. Wait lang ha. Okay, so we have here yung ating introduction. So I mentioned a while ago that our prerequisite of this heat transfer is thermodynamics, no? Because heat transfer is actually an extension of your knowledge in thermodynamics. So from your study of thermodynamics, you have learned that energy can be transferred by interactions of a system with its surroundings, no? Sa thermodynamics, we try to compute for the work done, either work done onto the system or work done by the system, and also yung ating heat transfer. Either heat is added or heat is rejected. No? So in thermodynamics, we only know those end states of the process during which an interaction occurs. Alam lang natin kung positive ang heat, sabi natin siya ay heat added. Pagka negative, siya ay heat rejected. Kapag ka naman work done by the system, it is positive. And work done onto the system, say for example, work ng pump, it is negative. No? But it provides no information concerning the nature of the interaction or the time rate at which it occurs. No? Kino-compute lang natin yung value ng Q. So this time, we will be considering the nature of the interaction and the rate. No, we will be computing for the heat rate. So when we say rate, it is per unit time. So time is always involved. And you will notice later that when we try to compute for the value of heat rate, you will be always computing for positive value because you will be incorporating the direction of heat flow, no, in our heat rate equations. So the objective of this course is to extend thermodynamic analysis through the study of the different modes of heat transfer, which I mentioned, conduction, convection, and radiation, and through development of relations to calculate heat transfer rate. So we do so, or we can achieve the objective of this course by raising these three questions. So the three questions are, what is heat transfer? How is heat being transferred? And why is it important to study it? No? So first question is, what is heat transfer? So by definition, heat transfer is the thermal energy in transit due to temperature difference. So I highlighted here temperature difference because that is the main requirement. There would be heat transfer if there is temperature difference. Whenever there exists a temperature difference in a medium or between media, then heat transfer must occur. Okay, so just a review, what is thermal energy? So thermal energy is associated with translation, rotation, vibration, and electronic states of the atoms and molecules that comprise matter. It represents the cumulative effect of microscopic activities and is directly linked to temperature of the matter. Because we say that if the temperature is high, the thermal energy is also high. And if the temperature is low, then thermal energy is low. Okay? The next question is, how is heat being transferred? Always remember that his heat is transferred from a higher temperature to a lower temperature. So when you are going to do the graphical representation or arrow representation of the heat flow, you should always consider that it should be from a higher temperature to a lower temperature. And in that case, the value of the heat transfer rate that you are going to obtain will always be positive. No? So even though it is heat loss, it is positive because hindi na siya kagaya ng ating thermodynamics na ang sabi natin is kapag ka positive ay heat gain or heat added at pag negative ay heat rejected. Hindi na po yun. No? Because we know that the heat is being transferred from a higher temperature to a lower temperature. So if we strictly follow this direction of heat flow in our arrow representation of the heat flow, the obtained value, even though it is heat loss, will always be positive. Eh ma'am, paano po pag negative pa rin po yung aking nakuha? Hindi po ibig sabihin nun ay kabaligtaran ng heat loss na magiging heat gain po. Hindi. The only reason for obtaining a negative value is that you did not follow the sign convention that we use and the direction of heat flow correctly. Ibig sabihin, instead of having it from higher temperature to lower temperature, baka nung nag-drawing ka ng arrow representation, from lower to higher ang ginawa mo. Kaya nung in-apply natin yung corresponding na heat rate equation, baligtad po yung ating nilagay pong values. Kaya ang makukuha po natin is negative. Instead po na T1 minus T2, ang nangyari po is T2 minus T1. Eh, mas mataas po yung T1. So, natural, negative po yung value na makukuha natin kung gagamitin po natin is T2 minus T1. Okay? So, again po, ang pinagkaiba po niya is ini-incorporate po natin yung direction ng heat flow. Although you are always asked for determining the heat transfer rate. How is heat being transferred? No? Per unit time po tayo. Kaya ang atin pong unit later, pag nag-analyze po natin, it is the unit in joule per second or watts. No? Lagi po tayong may per unit time. Now, why is it important to study heat transfer? No? So, bakit nga ba important na study natin ang heat transfer? So, in our everyday lives, we cannot go away with heat transfer. Ano? Kahit po sa simpleng body temperature natin, kung halimbawa po tayo ay normal body temperature, 36 degrees Celsius, pumasok tayo sa room natin, air-conditioned room, sa inyong bahay ngayon na kayo po ay online or in the classroom later, magkakaroon na daw po ng aircon. Actually, aircons are being installed pero yung linya po ata hindi pa rin okay kaya hindi pa natin magamit. So when we talk of the temperature difference between the surface of your skin and the air flowing inside the room, there is heat transfer. Okay? So even in our simple activity, there is heat transfer. More so if you are to become an engineer. No? So we, the mechanical engineers, we are talking of different thermal systems. We are talking of heat exchanging equipments. We are talking of different machines in which heat transfer is involved. Okay? So studying heat transfer is particularly important due to its wide range of applications in various engineering systems. So in our mechanical engineering field, we are talking of the thermal system design. We are talking of energy efficiency. No? In our HVAC system, refrigeration system, material selection and processing, also heat transfer is involved. In our thermal stress and expansion analysis, since there is temperature there, then there would be also the importance to study heat transfer. Even in control systems and safety systems, in some of the innovative technologies and in interdisciplinary applications, say, uh, we mechanical engineers frequently collaborate with other professionals, say, for example, the chemical engineers or the environmental engineers and scientists. So we are talking of some equipment in which heat transfer is really involved. Okay? So those are the three questions that we answer. Now, this is just a review. Ano, baka nakalimutan nyo na po itong ating thermal energy na mention ko na po kanina. So, our symbol is yung ating uppercase U. And for specific thermal energy, we have your lowercase u. And then these are the units. And then temperature, we are talking of temperature here. If it is in absolute, we use the Kelvin and the degree Celsius. So you should know conversion. Ano? And then we have heat transfer. Again, we defined it already that it is an energy in transit due to temperature difference. Wait for a while. And then we have here yung ating heat, no? So heat, amount of heat. Then we are talking of thermal energy transferred over a time interval, delta T. For example, sinabi sa atin is find the amount of heat transferred for this situation in 5 minutes. So given yung time, kasi yung ating heat rate is per unit time. So when you multiply it with time, it is the amount of heat. Okay, but we will be focusing on determining the heat rate. Okay, so heat rate is the thermal energy transfer per unit time, and we normally use our lowercase q to represent our heat rate, and the units is in watts or joule per second. Also, we are interested in finding the heat flux. Ano ang relation ng heat rate at saka ng heat flux? Heat rate is the heat flux times the area, because heat flux is the thermal energy transfer per unit time and surface area. So ang notation na ginagamit natin is Q double prime. So ang unit niya is watts per square meter. So when you multiply it with area, it would be your heat rate. Ma'am, alin pong area? Magkaiba po yung area na pinapag-usapan natin if we talk of conduction at saka ng convection and radiation. For conduction, we are talking of the area perpendicular to the heat flow. So imagine niyo yung wall ng inyong room, no? Kung ang wall ng inyong room, ang isang side naka-expose sa labas, say we are talking of 35 degrees Celsius, and then yung inside surface naman is say naka-aircon kayo or mas mababa yung temperature. So ang area pinag-uusapan natin is the area perpendicular from the outside to the inside. So i-drawing natin yon, lagyan natin ng arrow. Kung alin yung area covered niya, ay di yun po yung ating area perpendicular to the heat flow. Kung ito po yung ating wall, ito po yung outside, at ito po yung inside. So this area po, yung area po nitong ating wall, yung perpendicular area. Okay, so these are the different modes of heat transfer. It is important that you should able to identify the different modes of heat transfer involved. Otherwise, you might be neglecting the other modes of heat transfer. But if you are going to consider them, it is the contributory factor, no? So, dapat alam natin kailan ba merong conduction, merong convection, at merong radiation. So, conduction heat transfer occurred through a solid or a stationary fluid. So, kanina po yung example ko is yung inyong wall. So, since wall is a solid body, then there should be conduction heat transfer. Ito po yung sinasabi ko kanina, that the heat flow is, that the area is uh, perpendicular to the heat flow. If this is the heat flow, so yun pong ating area na dinaanan po, yung atin pong surface area. And then there would be convection heat transfer if there is a surface and a moving fluid. Take note again that there should be temperature difference. So T1 is not equal to T2 for this conduction rate equation. And for this one, we are talking of the surface and the fluid. So yun pong ating T infinity that refers to the temperature of the fluid. No? Wag po nating basahin na T infinity. Yun po ay symbol lang. Ang ibig pong sabihin natin nun ay temperature of the fluid. So if the surface and the temperature of the moving fluid are different, then there would be convection heat transfer. And the area that we are talking about is this surface area. No? Hindi po yung perpendicular. It is actually the surface area exposed to the moving fluid. Then, there would be net radiation heat exchange between two surfaces. So ito po yung dalawang surfaces at meron pong spaces in between. If these two surfaces are of different temperature, there would be radiation heat transfer between these two surfaces. No? So yun po yung ating way para ma-identify po natin what are the different modes of heat transfer involved. Okay? So, ayan na rin po yung explanation natin kanina, when a temperature gradient exists in stationary medium, which may be a solid or a stationary fluid po ito, we use the term conduction to refer the heat transfer that will occur across the medium. Heat transfer in a solid or stationary fluid due to random motion of its constituent atoms, molecules, and or electrons. And again po, yung convection natin, later, pag-usapan po natin yung two forms ng ating convection, the free and the forced convection. So heat transfer that will occur between a surface and a moving fluid when they are at different temperatures. And heat transfer due to the combined influence of bulk and random motion for fluid flow over a surface. Then ito po yung radiation. Again, all surfaces of finite temperature emit energy in a form of electromagnetic waves. So hence, in the medium, absence of an intervening medium, there is the net heat transfer by radiation between two surfaces at different temperatures. So energy that is emitted by the matter due to the changes in the electron configuration of its atoms or molecules and is transported as electromagnetic waves or photons. Okay po? Now, laws governing modes of heat transfer. So, stop ko na po ito dito. Kasi ito po ay simula po nung ating conduction rate equation, convection rate equation para hindi po tayo maputol kasi we have only 9 minutes. So, hindi ko na po itutuloy dito. So, yun na lang po muna ang introductory concepts natin. So, for next meeting po, we will continue with the different rate equation governing po yung conduction. Again, yun po ay Fourier's law. Ang atin pong convection, yun po ay Newton's law of cooling. At yun pong ating radiation ay yung Stefan-Boltzmann law. So we will be talking of them next meeting and we will continue yung pong mga sunod nating topics, no? After po niyan would be the properties of matter and then the thermophysical properties, the analysis of heat transfer problems methodology, and then the process identification. Yun po yung end ng chapter 1. And then chapter 2 po, we will be talking of the heat diffusion equation. Okay? So, ayun po. Meron pong questions or clarifications po tayo. Wala po tayong question or clarification. Sige po. Kung wala po, ay di Please fill up po yung binigay natin na Google Sheet. No, ayan, nandito na pala, sinend pala ni Iko. So, ayan. Lagyan na rin po natin ng group number, yung inyo pong na-feeling groupings. At hopefully po ay lahat po ay maging member ng iba't ibang groups natin kung ayaw pong mag-solo. Okay po? So, saan ko ba siya ilalagay? Lalagay ko po siya. Ay, sige po. Okay. Anyone with the link mo na lang, Utoy, ha? Kasi lalagay ko ng shortcut sa aking isang personal drive. Okay? So, ayun. Kung wala na po tayong question, I hope na intindihan ng ayos yung ating course information syllabus. And again po, diniscuss ko po sa inyo ang course information syllabus. Kasi at the end of the semester po, you will be asked to evaluate your course instructor. At ang isa pong portion doon ay tungkol po sa kung diniscuss po niya yung ating course information syllabus. No? Ay kung lahat po kayo ay umattend, ay di ang answer po natin doon ay diniscuss ko po. Yun po atay rating. I'm not sure. Hindi po naman namin nakikita yan. So please open po yung camera ng ibang hindi naka-open. I will just have one screenshot for your attendance for today. Since kayo naman po ay complete. Let me take one screenshot po at a count of 3 in 1, 2, and 3. Okay, another screenshot po. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so I hope you learned something today and you will learn more as we continue the discussion of our course ME409 Heat Transfer. Thank you and see you next meeting.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you po, ma'am.